A woman stands in her driveway, hands raised, as police sirens scream toward her. Inside the house behind her, there are multiple dead bodies. The smell of scorched flesh hangs in the air, and she says something chilling. She didn't do any of this for herself. She did it all for him. That's how Freida McFadden's newest thriller, The Divorce, opens, with a scene of pure carnage and no explanation of how we got there. What follows is the story of a marriage that implodes in the ugliest way possible, a mistress who isn't remotely what she seems, a custody battle that turns into a war, and a secret buried 6 years deep that will blow apart everything you think you know about who the villain of a story actually is. By the end, you will not know who to trust, and that's exactly the point. Let's get into it. Naomi Roth is a former doctor turned stay-at-home mom, married to Jeremy, a wealthy hedge fund manager, with a 5-year-old son named Teddy. From where Naomi stands, their marriage is practically perfect. Jeremy is attentive, successful, and a devoted father. So when she comes home one day to find the locks changed and her husband announcing a surprise house renovation, she has no idea it's actually a setup. Jeremy has already packed her bags. The very next day, at the apartment he stashed her in, he drops the real news. He wants a divorce. Naomi is blindsided. There's no fighting, no red flags, nothing, until a lawyer's letter arrives the next morning, proving Jeremy has been planning this for a while. Naomi refuses to hire her own attorney at first, convinced this is a temporary blip, maybe a midlife crisis. Her mother, a 3-time divorcee who claims to be psychic, insists there has to be another woman. Naomi denies it, until she drives to the family home late one night and catches Jeremy kissing a stunning 28-year-old named Veronica on the porch. Veronica is young, gorgeous, and according to Jeremy, the love of his life. Naomi is devastated, but something about Veronica doesn't sit right with her. There's a coldness behind the pretty smile, a calculation that doesn't match the story of a woman swept up in true love. When Naomi confronts her in a grocery store, Veronica drops a chilling line about grapes being a choking hazard, and it's not aimed at Teddy. Desperate for legal help, Naomi discovers that Jeremy has strategically retained every top divorce lawyer on Long Island specifically to box her out. Eventually, she lands Ezra Fletcher, a disheveled, disorganized, but razor-sharp attorney working out of a cluttered office in a sketchy part of town. Ezra turns out to be exactly what she needs: sharp in mediation, unshakably on her side, and, as the weeks go on, someone Naomi starts to lean on emotionally as much as legally. What should be a straightforward divorce spirals fast. In mediation, Jeremy shockingly demands full custody of Teddy, a request Ezra reveals is purely financial, since sole custody means Jeremy avoids paying child support. Jeremy paints Naomi as unstable and irresponsible, citing incidents Naomi swears she never caused. A stuffed elephant that Veronica gave Teddy, found gutted and stabbed with a kitchen knife in Naomi's own apartment. A missing knife. A shower curtain left closed when Naomi is sure she left it open. Small, unsettling details that make Naomi start to doubt her own memory. Meanwhile, Naomi discovers Veronica has a history. She once worked as a housekeeper for a wealthy family, the Symingtons, where she allegedly tried to seduce the husband and was accused of pushing the wife down a flight of stairs. She also has a past arrest for heroin possession. Naomi becomes convinced Veronica is a gold-digging predator who could hurt Teddy to get him out of the way, especially after her homemade kombucha, laced mysteriously with crushed Tylenol, makes her violently sick one night. Naomi finds an unlikely ally in Cora Jansen, a fellow school mom who went through her own brutal divorce, and warns Naomi that Jeremy is gaslighting her, pointing out that he never confirms plans in writing, only ever verbally, so there's no way for Naomi to prove what was actually said. Cora also connects Naomi with a police officer boyfriend who runs Veronica's license plate, giving Naomi the mistress's full name and an old address that eventually leads her to the Symington estate. Meanwhile, Naomi tries to get their longtime babysitter Rosita to back her up in the custody dispute, only to learn that Rosita has been pressured by Jeremy into staying silent, terrified of losing her job. Everything comes to a head at Teddy's 6th birthday party. Jeremy explicitly tells Naomi not to come, then later claims he told her a different time than he actually gave her, the exact gaslighting pattern Cora had warned her about. Naomi shows up anyway to a lavish party complete with a bouncy castle, a pony, and, to her shock, Cora herself, who admits she brought her son despite everything, leaving Naomi feeling betrayed all over again. When Naomi discovers Veronica's expensive gift to Teddy smashed to pieces, Jeremy accuses her. A fight breaks out in front of the whole party, and he calls the police. Naomi is forcibly arrested and hauled away in handcuffs in front of everyone, including her sobbing son. The arrest gives Jeremy exactly what he needs, a temporary order of protection barring Naomi from Teddy in the house. This is where the book takes its first hard left turn. Desperate and unraveling, Naomi violates the order to try to see Teddy while Jeremy is away on a business trip in Boston. When Veronica, babysitting Teddy, threatens to call Jeremy and expose her, Naomi picks up a heavy rock from the garden and smashes it over Veronica's head, knocking her unconscious. What follows is genuinely disturbing. Naomi drags Veronica down to the wine cellar, binds her wrists and ankles with duct tape, and, driven by jealousy and rage, begins hacking off Veronica's hair with a pair of shears, telling her she intends to disfigure her so Jeremy will never want her again. While Veronica is restrained and begging, Naomi discovers something on Veronica's phone that changes everything. A text conversation revealing Veronica is pregnant. Just as Naomi is about to escalate the violence further, her lawyer Ezra shows up at the house looking for her. He hears Veronica's muffled screams from the cellar and tries to intervene, and Naomi, cornered and desperate to protect her custody of Teddy, shoves him down the cellar stairs. He appears to die from the fall. In a moment of pure panic, Veronica screams out the real reason she's been fighting so hard. Teddy isn't just a stepson to her. She says, "My son." Naomi now understands she has to kill Veronica to keep her secret buried. The book now rewinds to reveal Veronica's real history, and it recontextualizes everything we've read. 6 years ago, Veronica, then a young mother fresh out of addiction, gave birth to a baby boy, Dominic, with her boyfriend Clay, a former addict himself. 2 weeks after Dominic was born, Clay took the baby for a drive, got high at a rest stop, and passed out. When Veronica woke from a nap to discover Dominic gone, she called the police, who barely took her seriously given her and Clay's history, arrested Clay for possession, and never found the baby. Veronica spent years grieving, believing Dominic was likely dead, while trying to rebuild her life clean and stable, eventually landing a housekeeping job with a wealthy Symington family, the same job where she was accused of the stairwell incident and pushed out. A tip from her old best friend Lola about a records clerk named Lorraine who forged documents for a price leads Veronica to a shocking discovery. A birth certificate for a boy named Theodore, filed the week Dominic disappeared, listing a mother named Naomi Paxson, whose mother is that very same records clerk, Lorraine. Veronica tracks down the father listed on the certificate, Jeremy Roth, and when she sees his son Teddy in person, is stunned by how much the boy resembles Clay. Determined to get close enough to find out the truth, Veronica starts running with Jeremy at a local park, and the two fall into an affair, genuinely on both sides, even as Veronica secretly investigates whether Teddy is really her missing son. Jeremy insists a paternity test proved Teddy was his, and for a long while Veronica lets the theory go. But once she meets Teddy and gets close to him, his resemblance to Clay gnaws at her. She secretly swabs his cheek during a supposedly harmless game and mails it off for her own DNA test. The results come back at Teddy's birthday party, 99.9999998% probability of maternity. Teddy is Dominic. Naomi stole him. Back in the present, in that cellar, Naomi finally admits her side of the story. Years ago, struggling with infertility and desperate to be a mother, she found baby Dominic screaming in the back of Clay's car at a rest stop while Clay was passed out from drugs. Believing she was saving the baby from a dangerous situation, she took him. She had her mother, the records clerk, forge a birth certificate naming Jeremy Roth, a man Naomi had briefly dated, as the father, gambling that Jeremy would want to believe it. To pass the paternity test Jeremy insisted on, Naomi secretly used a DNA swab taken from Jeremy's own father, who was suffering from Alzheimer's, and easily fooled into cooperating, since father and son would share enough DNA markers to convince a standard test. It worked. Jeremy married her, believing Teddy was his biological son. With her secret now exposed and two people, Veronica and, she believes, Ezra, trapped in her power, Naomi decides the only way out is to burn the evidence. She sets the wine cellar ablaze, intending for the fire to look like a tragic accident that conveniently erases everyone who knows the truth, while she rescues Teddy and becomes the hero of the story. But Ezra, only pretending to be unconscious, uses a wine bottle to knock Naomi out before she can finish Veronica off, freeing Veronica from her restraints and telling her to save Teddy while he tries to escape the flames himself. Veronica races upstairs, but Teddy, trained since toddlerhood with a family-safe word that means "don't come out for anyone," won't unlock his door without hearing it. With the fire climbing the stairs and smoke pouring in, Veronica finally convinces him to open up, and the two of them climb out onto the roof together to escape as fire trucks arrive. Naomi, trapped in the burning cellar with the unconscious Ezra, doesn't make it out. Both die in the fire. In the epilogue, we get the story from Jeremy's perspective, and this is where the book truly flips the script. Jeremy reveals that years earlier, Clay Barkley actually tracked him down and confronted him, having found one of Naomi's branded crystal tokens in his car and traced it back to her. Jeremy secretly ran a second paternity test himself and learned the truth. Teddy was not his son. But rather than losing the boy he'd already come to love as his own, Jeremy made sure Clay conveniently turned up dead of an overdose, implying Jeremy had him killed or arranged it. From that point on, Jeremy kept Naomi in the dark, waited years, fell for Veronica, and then deliberately, methodically engineered Naomi's downfall, lying about appointment times to make her look flaky, planting the stabbed elephant himself, spiking her kombucha with crushed Tylenol himself in what he intended to look like a suicide, and slowly building a paper trail to paint her as unstable. Also, he could eventually take full custody and be rid of her for good, likely planning to stage her death as an overdose down the line. Naomi's death in the fire she herself set simply did the job for him. Jeremy ends the book chillingly satisfied. Both people who ever threatened to take Teddy away from him, Clay and Naomi, are now dead, and he's free to build a new life with Veronica, warning that anyone else who tries to take his son will meet the same fate. The Divorce is a nesting doll of unreliable narrators, a story that keeps handing you a villain and then yanking the floor out from under you. Naomi seems like the wronged wife, then reveals herself as a kidnapper and would-be murderer. Veronica seems like the home-wrecking mistress, then turns out to be a grieving mother clawing her way back to her stolen child. And Jeremy, the seemingly reasonable, wronged husband throughout, ends up being the coldest and most calculating of them all, a man willing to let two people die and possibly orchestrate a murder himself just to keep the son he raised but never biologically had. What makes the book work is how carefully McFadden stacks each reveal on top of the last. Every strange detail we brushed off in the first half, the elephant in the drawer, the missing knives, the wrong appointment times, even Naomi's oddly specific paranoia about Veronica, turns out to have a rational explanation once you know who's really pulling the strings. It's a book that rewards a second read almost as much as the first, because so much of what looks like one character's cruelty is actually another character's manipulation happening just out of frame. If you love this twisty, morally messy ride. That's peak Freida McFadden. And if you want more of her signature turns, let me know in the comments which of her books you'd like summarized next. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more book breakdowns just like this one. I've got a lot more twisted thrillers coming your way.